This brief video is going to be about trimming your nails with a Swiss Army knife, maybe without the nail file. Stay tuned. Okay, so many Swiss Army knives, and by many I mean not many, but there's a lot of them out there that do have the nail file. So you've got the classic SD, which has the screwdriver tip, and then there's the regular classic, which is handy. And you've got the Sportsman, which has a similar tool set in the awls version of the Cadet, which has the nail file tool on it. But let's say you don't have that. What are you going to do? Let's assume for a minute that you only have a very basic tool set and a 2-layer knife. So something like the Soldier, Standard Issue, or the Spartan, Tinker, Tourist, those sorts of things. You do have a knife blade though. Let's see if I can do this on camera. This is how I always did it growing up with my pocket knives. I get just underneath and I just pare a little bit off at a time here. This is something I used to do out in the bush quite a bit, or at work. Sometimes you just need to, here's something I do too, I like to put my thumb next to the blade like this. Sometimes you just really have a nail that bugs you, and you can either move the knife or you can move your finger. So I'm right-handed. Right now I can move the knife easily, but to do my right hand, I'll hold the knife stationary in my left and then use my dominant hand to control it just through my nails. Let's see here. Hopefully you guys can see this. It helps to keep your knife sharp too. You might get the odd little piece hanging off like that if you just come at it like this. The nice thing about using the blade is you don't get these sharp corners on your nail. But it feels kind of rough. There's a way to fix that too here in 1 second. So you got your nail done, and of course that looks worse than it is on the camera here. But then take your blade, and be careful again that you don't cut yourself. And just give that edge a little bevel, a little blend in that piece. That feels pretty good. It's usually a little bit more well done when you're not trying to do it in front of a camera. Any high spots you can knock down. That's with just the blade. What other Swiss Army knife tools can do nails really well? So this is my Huntsman. And it's a 91mm model that has scissors on it. These are outstanding scissors. Let's see how this works. So we have another little bit of length here. What I'm going to try to do is just hook that over the edge of the scissors. And as I cut with it, I'm going to turn my finger here and come all the way across. Nice. Now, same thing, you can take your blade, or say you made a mod that was a bladeless mod, so all you had was scissors. Just open your scissors up here and use that sharp edge just to chamfer that nail as well. Get it nice and smooth. Cool. Now, let's say you do have a nail file though, so you've got one of the Vic ones that has it, or one of the many different Wenger ones. What are some tips on the nail file? Well, I mean, no one really needs to have a manual on how to do it with a file, but there is a little trick at the end I like to do that I'll share with you guys. So I'm keeping it as much of a flat angle as I can. If you go this way, any degree, you'll get even more of what I'm going to show you, but I've even tried to do a bit of an undercut, but then you get a pretty sharp nail, which can be a little detrimental if you happen to scratch yourself. So let's say that's the length I want to go for. And you just take it and come across the edge here, just lightly to take that burr off, which is right there. And most people would call that good. But it always ends up that I get this little fluff that'll eventually come out here. Let's see if I can pull it out with the nail tool. It's like a little unfinished edge. It drives me nuts. So even on the nail file equipped tools, there's two ways you can take care of this. So get your blade and just gently hook it underneath that little flap of really thin nail material and just scrape it up, and it should cut that right off. Now leave that half hanging for a second though, because if you're scared to use the knife, go to your awl. It's really hard to do on camera, but same thing, just hook onto that and pull that out of there. And you should have just a nice clean finished nail. Helps if you keep your awl kind of sharp too, which you should. Just a little piece hanging on here. Just gonna pinch it between my thumb and the awl. Boom. We're all done. Now as far as cleaning your nails go, I don't think I've got any real dirty ones right now. Maybe in some spots. But your nail tool can be used for that, but if you don't have a nail tool on your Swiss Army knife, if you have the corkscrew, it is excellent for cleaning your nails. And not only that, in a pinch you could even push your cuticles down with it here. Once again, this is something that would be a lot easier if you're not trying to hold it in front of a camera. There you go. Swiss Army knife nail care 101.